who will be nominated for the Game Awards. What's up, Grinders? How you doing? It's Gaming Grindhouse, Jez7780 coming to you with the Grinds Gaming Bite. Yes, I figured let's do a video now. Just a real brief one, because I've seen some things going on the internet with the Achilles coming up, because he has an announcement coming up on Monday at 12 o'clock of who the nominations are going to be, and he threw out a couple of questions there, and I thought, hey, why don't we talk about it here at the Grinds Bite? Just a little bite, just taking a bite out of the Keeley Awards, which will be on December. What do you say? There'll be sometime in December. Nominations are on tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, and our Keeley will be doing this stuff. So here he is, right here. Let's see what he had to say. He was excited. That's all I gotta say. He looks excited this year. Let's see.
Tomorrow, find out who's going to be nominated at the Game Awards. The nominee announcement live stream is happening at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, 5 p.m. GMT, with over 30 categories revealed. Don't miss it.
Don't miss it. That's right, Keeley. Don't miss it. Why not? Why not? Because I'm telling you, I've already seen the questions, and we're going to do the questions. I'm going to show you what some of the questions already that he's peppered out there for the Twitter, just to evoke engagement with everybody. I'm telling you. Listen. This show, chill. All right, everybody? Chill. It's entertainment. We will entertain him. We'll entertain this thing. But, guys, it's entertainment. This show is meant to... I'll tell you my big prediction, because you've heard it. You've heard it before. I've said it, why it would be. You know, everybody's going to be running to the Metacritics, running to the things going, what gets... Let's go look. Just look at what the questions that have been out there. Ready? So let's go. Let's see the first question that he asked out here. One of the things here. Here it is. Which game publisher do you predict will get the most nominations? Now, what publisher? Well, we got... I think Nintendo might be flexing, right? I really like somebody. I think Nintendo might be there. You know, Larian, I think Baldur's Gate's going to win a lot. This is my predictions of the thing. And we'll talk more predictions, but I think Baldur's Gate, you're going to see, Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be nominated for a lot of things. RPG, Game of the Year, Narrative. I think there's going to be a lot of nominations for that game, because that game does so many of those tropes very well. From my experience with it, and, you know, from a long experience, I really don't have a big history with Baldur's Gate, but playing it, the dialogue and RPG elements are incredible. The combat is definitely tough, I find. Like, that turn-based kind of combat, it's not as smooth as it's not as easy as an XCOM. Like, it's very complicated. There's a lot of moves. There's a lot of stuff. I love the conversation dice rolling. I know that's pulled from D&D, but I feel like that Baldur's Gate 3, and from what we've seen with the joysticks, we'll talk about that on the Gaming Grindhouse. Check that out on Monday nights at 8 o'clock, Gaming Grindhouse, where either it's me and a panel or Frogs. Frogs has been traveling the world right now, so we're waiting for Frogs. Shout out to him when he comes back on. But we'll be doing that Gaming Grindhouse on Monday nights here. But these are just the bites. We're going to do some bites. I'm going to do more of them. I want to try to do more of them. But anyway, back to this stuff. I think Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be nominated for a lot, so I do think maybe they could be the publisher, Larian, being up there. I know that Microsoft was one of them for the Publisher of the Year award, a big deal they made a couple of years ago. Last year was non-existent in 2020. And then you also have Sony out there with Publisher as well, but again, with their Horizon DLC, but also the Horizon VR game, and then also with Spider-Man. But they didn't have too many games there, so I don't see Sony in that nomination there for Publisher of the Year. I really think that it's going to be more of Nintendo and maybe Larian, but I think he's saying, what publisher do you think will get the most nominations? I think Zelda's going to be in a lot of things as well, so I think it's going to be a toss-up between Nintendo and Larian. I don't think Microsoft and Sony will be in there. As for other publishers, I can't really think of anybody else that really stood out this year. You know, Warner Brothers, maybe Hogwarts gets a lot of nominations as well. The Hogwarts Legacy, because I think that's going to be in there as well. And you know, Microsoft may slip in there. They may slip in there with a Hi-Fi Rush, Hi-Fi Rush and Starfield. You never know. You never know. Hi-Fi Rush might be in there for best indie game or something like that, which I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. But I think that Nintendo holds a good one compared to with Mario Kart, Mario, and I don't think a Mario RPG is gonna be in there. But I think, with Mario, the Wonder, and Zelda, I think they're gonna be in a lot of those conversations. But I do think that Baldur's Gate's gonna be in a lot more because there's narrative, which we're not gonna get a Nintendo game in narrative. So I think Baldur's Gate's gonna take it. I see Nintendo being in there, but I think Larian is gonna take that for the biggest publisher. But again, I just think it's interesting. The publisher of the year. Why would he do publisher? Yeah, because we know who won publisher of the year a couple of things ago. But I think Larian is gonna be doing that one. Let's see another question they asked. What is this one? This one I thought was very interesting. Which games do you think will be nominated for most anticipated game tomorrow? We can look at some of the comments here, but just coming here from the Grindhouse thing, nominated for most anticipated game. Well, I think GTA 6. Considering, did you see the tweet? The tweet out there that how much it took, dude. GTA 6 is definitely gonna probably be most anticipated game because everybody's thinking that it's gonna be announced soon, and I think maybe I don't think it's gonna be at the Game Awards. I think they're gonna have their own trailer when I don't think they're gonna be doing it at the Game Awards. But I also think Final Fantasy Rebirth will be another one for the most anticipated game for next year. I think that's a big one, and I think those will probably be Final Fantasy Rebirth 7 Rebirth, and I think GTA 6 will be the biggest ones. And then let's take a think. I think there's another one that may come out. Most anticipated. I don't know if they throw Wolverine on that list. That could be another one. Wolverine coming off the heat of Spider-Man 2, which, by the way, is incredible. You'll hear more about it on the Gaming Grindhouse. No spoilers, though, but my God, please play that game. Please play that game. If you love superheroes, play that game. If you just love action games, play that game. But coming off Spider-Man 2, I think everybody would be hyped to see what Insomniac could do with Wolverine. So I'm thinking Wolverine, I'm thinking Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, and I'm thinking GTA 6 being on this list, at least. Coming from anybody else, Nintendo, I don't know. Zelda was on the thing. I don't know what a big Nintendo game coming out. And then for Microsoft, really, I don't know. See, like I said this before, I don't think anything with the weight of Starfield, and this is why I'll talk about Starfield in a bit, but I don't think anything with the anticipation and hype of Starfield is coming out next year. Oh, you know what? Hellblade 2 may slip on that list. I'm excited for Hellblade 2, but again, that's not at the level of Starfield. But I do feel that, for representation of a Microsoft game that may be anticipated, could be Hellblade 2, considering they used Hellblade 2 at the Game Awards. They announced it in 2019, where they showed the trailer, and they talked about what the Xbox was called, the Series X. And also, they showed another trailer a couple of years later at the Game Awards. So kind of Hellblade has been revealed at the Game Awards, so it probably has some perk, probably will be on this list as well. So Hellblade, Final Fantasy, Wolverine, and GTA 6, and probably GTA 6 will take the cake, obviously, for that. Let's see what some other people said. Rise of the Ronin, Silent Hill 2, maybe, but Kojima's not making that one. So, Silent Hill 2, Silk Song, GTA 6. See, some people said Hellblade 2, Final Fantasy 7, Little Nightmares 3, Stalker 2. I don't know. Maybe Stalker 2's on that list. I don't know why Alan Wake 2. Well, that guy didn't answer the question there. Yeah, it's GTA. GTA 6 is winning it. Regardless of who else is on there as a nomination, GTA 6 is winning that thing. That's all I'm saying about that. And then the big one. The big one that everybody's talking about, and this is the one, and I think, the Game of the Year awards. But before we get to that one, listen, I don't like this. This is that entertainment thing that we're talking about here. This is the thing that grinds a little bit of my gears, because The Game Awards is tweeting out, and this is the one that made me kind of go, you know what? It is entertainment. And that's why I bookmarked the son of a bitch. That's why I did that. The biggest potential snub nomination list would be this. Just the games that will get snubbed. Then you know what they're going to get snubbed for. Game of the Year snubs. Like, I don't enjoy this whole dialogue of this stuff. Because this shows exactly, like, who will be snubbed this year? Who will be who will get the screw job? It's like, what? What are we doing here? It's a celebration of games. Who will be snubbed? Let's go into Twitter streets and find out who's going to be snubbed. Listen. There's only one snub that anybody cares about. That's the Game of the Year snubs. There were so many great games this year that, yes, obviously there's 6 slots for the Game of the Year. It's entertainment. Now, people on this list are going, oh, stop. And I think the big thing is Starfield. Is Starfield going to be nominated, or is it going to get snubbed? For Game of the Year, that is. Like, I think it will be on the list for RPG. Probably lose a lot to Baldur's Gate. I think that's the thing. I also think Final Fantasy 16 is going to be on there, but it might win more of the narrative storytelling. Maybe that goes to Baldur's Gate. I do think it's going to be... We had 3 big RPGs this year with Baldur's Gate, Final Fantasy 16, and Starfield. Those are the... And you know, an open world action game with RPG elements in the sense of Hogwarts Legacy. But the RPGs, Hogwarts is not an RPG, but those 3, Baldur's Gate, Starfield, and Final Fantasy, I think you're going to face off. However, Final Fantasy, I think will more go lean into more of the narrative and combat-wise, but the story has been really good. I haven't finished it, but the story has been really good. But I do think that those 3 are going to be in the kind of the similar categories together. As for the Game of the Year snub, where they're referring to it, listen, I think a lot of games are not going to make the list, but you got the 6 of them. I think you're definitely going to see Baldur's Gate. I said you're going to see Spider-Man 2. You're going to see Zelda, and the question is Mario Wonder, which I've been loving. Mario Wonder, I've been loving it, man. It is so classic Mario game, man. Oh my goodness, I love it. I get like flashbacks of Super Mario Brothers 3. The game, level design, and whatever every map, every level is different in Mario Wonder, and there's just new elements and just things that makes you smile. Like you're like, oh, this is great. You know, so I think Mario Wonder may fall into that Game of the Year, but I think Zelda may take the one from Nintendo. I don't know if they're going to have 2 of them in the Game of the Year for that. Now, I do think that Nintendo will have either one or both. Now, for Sony, I think that there will probably be Spider-Man. Spider-Man, absolutely incredible game, something that really just took it to the next level. They took whatever they did in the previous ones. I just finished it. Absolutely insane. It was non-stop. I could not believe it. Every fight seemed like the end, and it wasn't. And it was epic, and it was incredible, and they told stories of characters. They built out the world. There's so many potential ways they can go down there. The different pathways and stuff. It is absolutely incredible, and then it looked incredible. The city was the most alive New York City I've ever seen, with just so much stuff going on. I think Marvel Spider-Man 2 will be up there. Will it be snubbed? I don't think so. Now, Baldur's Gate 3 will be there. Obviously. Now, the big question is the Starfield one, because that's where I think everybody's coming from. If you look at the comments, too, you look, Hi-Fi Rush, Jedi Survivor is a snub, but I think the technical issue of Jedi Survivor are probably going to hurt that game there. But Starfield was not nominated. See, people already like Starfield. Armored Core 6, somebody says. Lies of P. I think that's another game. I think Lies of P will slip in there. They were going to have some indie representation in the Game of the Year. I think Lies of P may slip in there. Armored Core 6, yeah, I don't think that's going to be in there. And I'm gonna give my opinion on the Starfield stuff. Hi-Fi Rush, like, you know, I think Hi-Fi Rush may not. I think they're gonna take, if they had a choice between Hi-Fi Rush and Starfield, I think Starfield is the one that's getting put in there and not Hi-Fi Rush. And then we're gonna look at Final Fantasy 16 is another game. That was the other one I wanted to plug in there. That was another one that I think may not make it in the top in the games of the year. It may get out there. So I think the 6 I'm going to say right now is I'm going to say Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Zelda, Breath of the Zelda game. Zelda there. I think we're going to get Liza P and Starfield, and will be the other 6 game. You may be looking at a Resident Evil or a Final Fantasy. Resident Evil 4 remake may slip in there, but it's a remake, so I think there's too many games this year for a remake. Hogwarts Legacy, I think, is the one that fills in that spot. Why Starfield? Listen, Starfield, even if you look at its Metacritic scores and look at what's happening with Starfield, I don't think that they would miss an opportunity to have the trifecta. And again, you could say, oh, well, it's a legit, the members, there's all staff and stuff like that. Listen, I'm telling you right now, it's still a TV show. They need ratings. They need engagement. Why would he even tweet who's going to get snubbed? Who does the Grammys do that? I don't know. The Oscars do say who's not going to win this year, everybody? Who you think's not going to get appreciated? Dude, I don't think that'll be very professional of the Grammys thinking who's gonna get. Maybe they can say who's. They even opened up the Oscars to have like so many different movies of the year so they can make sure they got everybody in there. And they're not expanding it this year for the Game Awards. They are not expanding it. It is staying at the 6 and what they're gonna be. And I told you what my 6 of them be. And again, I can be wrong. Again, I didn't play them all. So I can't tell you my games of the year. I just tell you the games I played with Super Mario and Final Fantasy, Spider-Man, Baldur's Gate, and Starfield. And I played, about 7-8 hours of Starfield. But I'm gonna tell you, like, for me, it ain't it. That wasn't it. But But what are you gonna do? I'm just like, it wasn't it. Like, it just was. Like, I think it got the scores that it kind of deserved. Like, I felt that the previous Bethesda games were more engaging, more enticing, and had better elements in them than this. Bugs and all. I just felt like the exploration, which was the big selling point of Starfield, just wasn't it. But this is not my Starfield review. This is talking about if Starfield's going to make it. They're not going to miss an opportunity to have the big 3 have a representation in the Game Awards Game of the Year. You're going to have a Spider-Man or Final Fantasy as a Sony kind of exclusive. You'll have Nintendo. That's why Spider-Man is going to be Spider-Man, Zelda, Starfield. It was that kind of year. So that's what I think it's going to be. Like, you cannot avoid having the 3 big publishers, the console developers actually all had a game each. Right? And Starfield did have the hype. People are still playing it. And it does have that Bethesda lore that people love their Bethesdas. They love their Bethesda. So, I think that there will be that trifecta there. It'll be entertaining to watch. Meanwhile, I think Baldur's Gate 3 will take it all for Game of the Year. Especially, it's a small studio. It's definitely something that will really propel them. If you consider the Game Awards like, equivalent to the Oscars, whatever the hell it is. I guess that's what he wants it to be. I watch it for the game announcements. Who snubs, who they say is Game of the Year. Like, it's just for like Twitter stuff. Like, please, it's not worth your time to be arguing who won Game of the Year, who did this thing. Let's see what the nominations. We'll see who it is. If Starfield's not on the list, there's definitely going to be some saltiness out there. Thinking that, the Microsoft tax or something like that, the Xbox tax, that they just never get an award. And I see people making fun, being like this. But if it's on there, now there's going to be, it shoots down the narrative that Xbox never had a Game of the Year nomination. And then it's going to be come back to them going, well, it never had a Game of the Year nomination. They had to go buy one for $7 billion, and now they bought their way into a nomination. And it's going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Pew, pew, pew. Yes, back and forth. That's why just watch the Game Awards, grinders, for the announcements. That's what I'm watching it for. I want to see what I'm going to be playing next year, especially with Sony next year. Let's see what they're doing. Because we had a showcase, but it wasn't the showcase that we needed. Let's see what they got coming up. Maybe we see gameplay to some of the games. Let's see what they got announced. I think it's going to be a big Final Fantasy thing. Or a Final Fantasy Rebirth will probably be there. Maybe something from Silent Hill 2 on there. Definitely Death Stranding 2 will be there. I can probably guarantee that because Kojima will be there to show his new game or just be on stage to smile or give an award out because Keely loves himself some Kojima. We know that that's happening. Oh, pause. And yeah, so we will see. But those are the quick video of this. We're going to talk more about it on the Gaming Grindhouse, so definitely tune in to that. We'll know the nominations by then, and we'll talk about it and see who was snubbed, who was on there. But just for now, it's just food for thought and just something to bide some time while we wait for the Keeleys to talk about this stuff. But again, it's more about the video game announcements and what's there. Whether, Spider-Man gets snubbed, I don't think so. I think Spider-Man shows up on there. It may be, Mario Wonder doesn't show up on there. Maybe he gets the snub of the Game Awards thing. But he has 35 categories. And I just hope that 6 of them are not esports related, where we get Best Esports Team, Best Esports Logo, Best Esports Player, Most Influential Gamer, which we don't need that award, okay? Please. Most Influential Gamer or Stream, please. I don't need any of that. Okay? Esports coach, esports jacket, no. Those get announced during commercial breaks. I don't want to hear it. I want best fighting game, best narrative, best art direction, all that goodness. Best voice actors. I think they need to appreciate more of the voice actors and the actors, the people behind the games. We need more of that. Not influencers, not shaving commercials and advertisements. We need more about who makes these games. The developers, the voice actors, the animators. Those are the ones that I think should definitely be a little bit more recognized during these awards. The art of it, rather than the business side of it, or sports side. I guess sports. The sports side of it. My goodness. But anyway, we will see what happens. We'll see the nominations. We'll go over them again. And just remember, it's about the game announcements. And we will check it out. But this has been a Grinds Gaming Bite. There will be more of these. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you like it here. And always grind in the grind house. See you, everybody. Good night.